on today's show, we have our very first guest of 2018, and he's here to review our very first movie review of the year. And we also have our Halloween special, so... Oh no.
Yes.
Well,
yes,
there goes our first blooper.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is As We Proceed. I'm Feliciano Segundo.
Yes, I'm Chris Maitland, and this is the podcast for fans of Small Soldiers Erotica by fans of Small Soldiers Erotica. This is just a blooper episode right now.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
I mean, he's being coy. I mean, this kid, he loves writing about action figures dicking each other down.
No, I don't.
Just look at that face.
Oh, God. Oh, now I can't watch that movie the same. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, this is our Halloween episode, ladies and gentlemen. We stepped it up. We're no longer filming in our basement, obviously.
I can see this year, too, which is great.
We found an actual place this year, obviously, and we are here to review a good old horror classic.
Yes. And this episode is, as you can tell by the intro, I mean, it's just kind of doomed.
Can I tell you what I was trying to do? I was trying to play some Halloween music on my phone, but a YouTube ad came up.
Well, you would fucking deserve that shit. You really do. Like, oh, okay, no way there'll be an ad on this one.
You guys ever go to like a party and
they play
playing
the music and the YouTube ad comes
Yeah,
on.
like, oh shit,
comes up,
exactly.
like,
Yeah. Or say if somebody.
yeah, that's my favorite song.
They do that at the barbershop all the time. Like they try to play a song, and it's just like the YouTube ad nobody understands.
Yeah,
Sometimes I just be like, yo, put that back on. That's my jam.
It's like, yeah, like I fucking love like State Farm Insurance. I mean, they're the greatest.
No, I think the best thing though is that they're now doing they're actually putting actual songs as the
ad. Yeah, like they'll put like a music video.
They'll do that every once in a while.
Yo, I was just bumping that.
Yeah.
Occasionally they'll throw a movie trailer on there too. It's like, but like, dude, this is a music video. Like, what are you doing? This is so meta.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, this episode, as I was starting to say, it's not going quite as planned.
Small Soldier Erotica.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought your thing was going to be like Halloween related somehow, but
No,
you just find another way to disappoint me like always.
Well, speaking of disappointing me,
what was disappointing?
Well, all right. So a couple months ago on these airwaves, you deservedly, I ripped myself, and you deservedly ripped me for coming underprepared for the Kamikaze episode because I only listened to the album once. Now, see, you one upped me by finding a way. We had to cancel the album review because Mr. Segundo over here did not listen to the album.
I'm sorry, I couldn't be bothered.
So yeah, we were supposed to review Hell or High Water Volume 1 by City Morgue. Mm-hmm. Now, see, I came prepared. I listened to it a couple times. I had all sorts of takes brewing around in my head.
Yep.
And you
last night I said, we're not doing
and you
it
fucked
anymore.
me over.
Well, to be fair, our guest also didn't hear the album.
That's fine. But he's simply a tourist on this program.
Not necessarily.
You are.
Yeah.
No,
I'm the tourist. You're supposed to be my guide.
No, exactly. Like this is your child.
I made an executive decision.
You neglected me. I'm calling.
You neglected the program. He neglected his child. This program is his child. He neglected it.
I made an executive.
So call social services.
I wasn't even introduced.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, your introduction's right on the screen.
We're firing on all cylinders.
All right.
Okay,
I made an executive decision to cancel the album review because 2 out of the 3 people had not heard it.
That's understandable, but it's just it kind of put us in a content bind for this episode.
Not necessarily. I think shorter episodes are better. I've known to have said that.
I mean, we had 2 things on the agenda, and one of them is no longer there.
There you go. So that just gives them more time to talk about this beautiful movie.
No, but it's just, I don't know.
Are you? You sound a little upset.
I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. I mean.
Well, now you have one disappointment from me to make up for the thousands of times that you let me down.
That's fair enough.
All the time.
Fair enough. No, but I mean, we all right. Again, I'll give you the. Well, what's especially odd about this is that we usually only have 4 days to prepare to listen to the album. You had 6 this time.
Yeah, I did.
And the album
2 extra days.
The album was 33 minutes long. And just for a comparison, purpose, the last album review was Carter 5, which was almost an hour and a half.
It was very long.
And you had 5 days to prepare for that, and you were able to listen to that.
Yeah, but you got to think about it this way. There's the album you're talking about that listens to for this week, and then there's Carter 5.
Right. I think we're all very familiar
Carter
with
5 is
well, that's just mean. That's just disrespectful to a lesser known act.
We heard the album, so
that's
all we know.
No, exactly. Well, that's just disrespectful to a lesser known act. You guys should have got a lesser known act.
Listen, Carter 5, it took like 5-6 years to come out.
Who knows?
So
I don't know how long the recording process for Hell or High Water Volume 1 took.
Drops.
You don't even know what albums are recorded.
I'm going
You're the one over here saying that Astro World was recorded 3 years ago.
That's fine. But the moral of the story is that we had an album review all set up, and you dropped the ball.
Wish you hadn't said that on air, but okay.
You didn't carve out time to listen to 33 minutes of music. But all right, so if you want to hear my takes on the album, I'm going to write a review for it on Thursday or Friday on my blog, matelessmadness.blogspot.com. So
sure, why
ask
not?
me if you want to hear the takes on this album, because I have plenty of them.
Are you going to do a tangent on that beautiful movie you have right behind you?
No.
Chris brought How High to this.
Well, because I had to honor. We're talking about a classic film starring a hip hop artist. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go dig into the memory banks and pull out the greatest film ever made.
Is this a prequel to Slice?
It could be.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about the Harvard years. It's about the Harvard years of
it's probably the most boring marijuana high I've ever experienced was watching this.
Was watching How High?
Yeah.
Well, that's just mean.
All right, no, I'm kidding.
That's just mean. All right, so now that I've just
I got stoned just watching the
now
movie.
that I've just assaulted my co-host with verbally.
I think that deserves a we fucked up.
It does no, it would be you fucked up.
I fucked up.
You fucked up. No, it would qualify as part of the we fucked up segment. Yeah, this is a roundabout way of saying this is a we fucked up segment.
All right, so we're all done with that.
The album, I will say.
Oh God! What is that noise?
It's a volcano. Oh my fucking head!
Is there like an alien abduction?
I don't know what the hell that is. All right, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
That was fucking great.
That was great.
That'll get edited out, but that's fine.
Of course.
A volcano just erupted in Lynn. So that's very exciting.
You know what that was? That was the opening to hell. That was.
Yeah, that was the portal to hell.
There
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So yes, we'll get back on track here.
All right.
But I'm very disappointed in you.
So
hang your fucking head because I'm disappointed in you.
All right. So
hang your fucking head in
today we're
shame.
reviewing Slice. It's the movie. Is it the first movie by Austin Vesely?
It is.
All right.
It has to be.
has to
Music video director.
Why don't y'all explain who Austin Vesely is?
I mean, you can do that if you
We're
like.
getting there. I mean,
I don't know who he is.
constant collaborator of Chance the Rapper.
That's about it.
He's directed a bunch of music videos. Good friend of his.
There you go.
And
Cool.
they made a movie.
This movie stars Chancellor Bennett, more popularly known as Chance the Rapper.
Yep. Zazie Beetz of Atlanta fame.
And Deadpool 2.
And Deadpool 2.
What's this
Scheer.
movie? Yeah,
Paul
Scheer's in
Scheer
it.
from The League's in it. And a
that's
lot of
weird.
other places.
Freaking Joe Keery, whatever the guy's name the guy from Stranger Things is in this movie. The boyfriend from Stranger Things is also in this movie.
Was he the photographer guy?
Yeah, he was
okay.
the photographer.
I don't watch Stranger
He's
Things.
actually from Massachusetts, believe it or not.
Okay. Hannibal Buress shows up for a few minutes.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about Hannibal Buress. Yeah, he made that cameo at the beginning of the movie.
I mean, I'm just disappointed they didn't include more Chicago. Where was Lil Rel Howery? That's very disappointing. They could have.
that would have fit just nicely, honestly.
It would have. Sinbad, throw everybody in.
Why? Why not? Do you want to explain to the people at home what this movie's about?
Okay, well, that's kind of a hard task. So this takes place in a fictional town in, I'm assuming, we'll just say it was Illinois, even though they never specified.
What's the name of the town is Kingfisher.
Kingfisher, yes, I knew it was King something, but I
thought it was Fisher Hard.
You thought it was Fisher Price?
So basically, it takes place in a futuristic society, like if you will, where ghosts are a thing, werewolves are a thing.
Ghosts, werewolves, witches.
Witches, all
There's
sorts of
zombies.
supernatural creatures.
Sprites.
They didn't say anything. Yeah, sprites.
Yep.
In general, there was no specification about zombies, but hey, they could have been there too. Who knows? So basically, it takes place in this town, and it focuses on a pizza place called Perfect Pizza, where all of a sudden, after the drivers just start getting picked off like crazy, and no one knows why. And people think that it's because of a werewolf played by Chance the Rapper. He's come back years early. There was murders at another restaurant, so they think the werewolves come back to kill people. And it's up to Zazie Beetz' character to solve the mystery. There's a bunch of other subplots that are intertwined.
All right.
There's like 42 other subplots that
I agree.
But
yeah,
that's the most
so
concise. That's the most concise way of putting it.
Yeah, this movie I was pretty excited about because when I first heard it was announced, the premise sounded awesome. I mean, can we let's be honest here. I mean, the idea of like a werewolf being accused of murdering pizza boy drivers. I mean, that sounds pretty awesome,
it
right?
It had a schlocky premise that I thought
Right,
I could fuck with. I'm like, all right. Like,
and then when you hear when you throw Chance the Rapper's name onto it, it gets you even more interested because you want to know. I was like, can he act? People want to know, is he a good as actor as he is as a rapper?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to think. I was like, all right, A24 is an interesting studio. They put out some movies that I like, so what the hell? I'm like, all right, they might, like, it's not like a student film or anything, so maybe it should be okay. Zazie Beetz is a great actress.
Zazie Beetz is in it, yeah.
Zazie Beetz is a great actress.
Which got me even more excited. And
so
then,
I'm like, all right, so you had some legitimate established talent here. Paul Scheer is fucking hilarious. I think he was one of the best parts of the league, so I was like, all right, so there's some people.
He is the best part of the league.
Yeah.
He's if we were going to go there, he's probably my second favorite character behind Nick Kroll's character. Big Ruxin fan. But yes.
Ruxin was just.
And then we sat down and what did we do? We saw the movie at Chris's house.
Movie, yes, we watched the film yesterday, and it was not great.
What did we think?
It was not great.
Okay, cool. So are we all on the same page that this movie was not nearly as fun as it was set up to be?
Yeah, definitely not super enjoyable. For a variety of reasons. I would say the main problem is it doesn't know what in the sweet fuck it's trying to accomplish. It's just there's about 42 different subplots, and they don't really commit to anything. It's like, okay, like you think based on the premise it would be like a stupid horror comedy with a lot of gore in it. Not a lot of that. Like there's not a lot of jokes. Not a lot of gore.
Nope.
And then they decide like, all right, guys.
It reminded me of Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, and what's his name?
James Franco?
James Franco movie with less humor.
And low budget, very low budget.
Sure, yeah, a much lower budget. A lot less, because
something they probably maybe would have made in college.
The dialogue didn't feel improvised either. Seth Rogen movies is pretty much all improvised dialogue.
It was
and the jokes keep flying like nonstop. In this movie, like the jokes didn't really fly nonstop.
It felt more like okay. So the first thing we're talking about the writing, right? So the writing
is easily the worst part of the movie.
Didn't think it was improvised. I just felt it was poorly written.
Because it refused to commit to anything. Because it took itself, like, a lot of the line deliveries were very, very serious. Like, there was the humor wasn't really, like, there. It wasn't really, like, super over the top. The acting was mostly very stoic.
Yes, it was played
with
straight.
With the exception of Paul...
Especially Chance the Rapper. He had, like, almost little to no energy in this film, I felt like.
I think the little no energy carried over to Zazie Beetz as well. Zazie Beetz looked like she was fucking asleep the entire production.
Absolutely.
And I would argue, she is
her
probably
character was, like, a drug addict.
Sure, but like she just looked like she wanted nothing to do with the production. She's like, please get me out of here.
Right.
Like, get me back in the set
I got
of
the same from
right
Chance
now.
the Rapper. You didn't get that from Chance the Rapper?
No, Chance just didn't seem comfortable acting, because this is really his first acting role.
No, he's actually did a short film with the same director.
Okay, fair enough. This is the first thing
I've
seen.
He did that Kit Kat commercial.
He did the Kit Kat commercial. So you're lying.
I was hoping
he's
done
SNL.
Kit Kat commercial.
Yeah, no, I know he did SNL.
I just feel like he didn't fit the role.
That could have been right.
That role wasn't meant for him. I feel like, if anything, I would have seen him being as probably one of the bigger names on that he would be more of a protagonist.
Yeah, he's not in it that much.
I thought he was going to be the main character.
I thought it was going to be revolving around him.
No,
instead he was just like a supporting cat. She was a supporting character.
Realistically, because this movie jumps around to so many different plot points, there's not really a main character.
No.
You would say de facto.
No, there's not.
No, because they go around to 20 different plot points where they very rarely overlap. They don't overlap till the very end.
Right.
There's a police.
There's a police duo.
There's the corrupt mayor played by Chris
and
Cornell.
the witches, and then you also
Chris
have
Cornell, not funny at all in this movie, which is very disappointing.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know about that. It was pretty funny. He was like doing like the painting on the side.
Yeah, that was
pretty funny.
With
the boob thing.
Right. There's a scene. For some reason, the mayor of the city likes to paint breasts.
Then there was the very obvious like subplot with the witch protesters and gentrification guys. It's bad.
All right.
So you throw that subplot in.
And then you have what's almost the main characters of the movie, which is the pizza place and the workers.
Yeah,
the movie kind of revolves around them, but there's at some points it doesn't focus on their story at all.
No, and you have the pizza. You have Paul Scheer plays the owner of the pizza place, and he's this completely oblivious guy. He's the clear highlight of the movie for me.
Oh yeah, he was funny.
He was actually funny. Pretty much the very few jokes that actually work are almost exclusively attributed to him.
Yeah, when he has to react to somebody else.
And you also have the character of the ghost guy who's the prophet who basically reveals the ghost guy who works with them, who literally is aware of everything, is telling them the whole time, guys, you need to take this seriously.
You thought that was funny?
No, but I'm saying the character was an interesting premise.
I didn't understand that character.
Was that guy a ghost?
Yeah, was he a ghost or was he a zombie? Because he was dressed like a zombie.
He was a ghost.
Okay.
He looked like
He did not
the
look
other
like a
ghost
ghost.
characters.
No,
yeah.
he did not. He looked like a zombie.
Well, I mean, that's the impression I got.
Okay.
But the movie was also, again,
Very ambiguous.
It's fucking messy as hell. The writing was
And on top of that,
abysmal.
you have the subplot with like the reporters, and like you have this reporter, the
And
journalist
movie,
that's following.
Fine, this all happens in an hour and 23 minutes.
Right.
The movie, like, it is just all over the fucking place.
I would say I'd like to see this movie remade, if anything, with
no,
a better director and a little bit of tweaking with like the plot. I believe.
I think
I
think there is like flashes of potential throughout this movie. And I think like basically if you take out like I think there's a couple of like there's a Paul Scheer's character worked.
Yep.
And there's like stray plot points that are interesting. But it's just altogether, there's no consistency. That's the thing. Like at least like commit to a tone.
There it is.
Commit to a fucking tone.
Right.
Because it wasn't over the top enough or gory enough.
Yeah, that's the thing. I had an issue with this movie because it felt like they
was
kept
very
there was a build up of Chance the Rapper becoming this werewolf, and what kind of werewolf are you? And the whole idea of him being the only werewolf in the city, right? Is that kind of what it was?
Yeah.
But then you don't really get to see that. I was waiting for them to prove to me that it's almost like the movie wants to try and sell you the idea that he's a werewolf, but it never fully commits to it until like the last 10 minutes of the film. When you get to see his like claws, you see the makeup, the prosthetics on him, and even then it's not that impressive.
No, and there was definitely some budgetary restraints with this movie, but still, you can make a movie like there's a movie like, for example, like this similarly schlocky Hobo with a Shotgun.
Right.
Is a movie that was probably had an even lower budget. Yeah, Super, another one.
Super,
So you can make a movie that is like gory and insane and completely over the top on no money at all.
What's that movie, What We Do in the Shadows? Have you seen that movie with the vampires?
Yeah.
That movie doesn't have an amazing budget.
You don't need a huge
hilarious
budget.
movie.
But this movie, they did like nothing.
Right.
The gore is incredibly limited and incredibly tame. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got a few people's throats getting slashed. Like, I mean, again, that also kind of shows that we're also sick fucking assholes. That we're like, there's only a few people's throats getting slit. That's not gory enough for me.
Yeah, it is.
No, thank you.
Yeah, but Hugh, I want to take it to you. What do you think could have fixed this movie besides, what we've already talked about?
I mean, like, guys make good points with like the writing and stuff. I just think that it was a little all over the place. Similar to how all over the place Game of Thrones is, but just with like no like concreteness to it, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like that. No, I get what you're saying. I mean, like the movie. I mean, it's completely fucking scattershot, and focus is definitely the biggest problem. All right. So, was there anything positive that you took away from the movie?
One of the things that I liked that we had mentioned before off camera was the score, the music.
The score was excellent.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you pay attention to that at all?
Not really.
The score to me like fit the atmosphere they were trying to go to, like the schlocky like
the atmosphere of the town itself.
Horror atmosphere. Like because like you have all these creatures running around, all these supernatural creatures, supernatural entities.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
And the music was very, very eerie and very omnipresent and very interesting to me. And it was Ludwig
Göransson, who's
a collaborator with Donald Glover. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And he's done basically look at his work as a composer.
Resume.
He's done a bunch. Yeah, his resume is ridiculous, and he did an excellent job. And I thought I will say it had the look of a cheap horror movie though. I'll say the cinematography is very nice, which is not surprising because it's a music video director. I mean, that's the one thing you're going to guarantee with the music video director is the movie's going to visually have some kind of appeal to it.
I was trying not to judge him so harshly because I understand low budget filmmakers, right?
The movie kind of looked like it kind of looked like I was watching a Cole Bennett music video, but without like the actual awesomeness of a Cole Bennett video.
And that includes what? I have no idea what we were talking about.
I know who Cole Bennett is, but I'm not super familiar with his work.
Do you want to give me any?
So Cole Bennett, he makes music videos, I guess.
Okay.
Like all the Ski Master Slump Gods videos. He's done.
What is it about his music videos that you saw in this movie?
Because when the way he does his music videos is. It just like it is very similar to like the eeriness. Mm-hmm. He'll do like a lot of like zoom ins onto like people's faces and stuff like that, and just like in the background there'll always be like I don't know how to explain it. It's like you know how like when the ghosts were appearing there was like that green dust around them and stuff like that. He'll always do like similar elements to like that.
There was a certain vibrancy because it's grainy and cheap looking, but it's also very colorful.
Yeah, very colorful.
I guess that plays to the inconsistency
Sure, but like, I mean, that's one thing. But like, at least like visually, like it worked for what it was trying to be. Because obviously, at its core, Vesely wanted to make like a grindhouse movie. So at least from a visual standpoint.
What do you mean a grindhouse movie?
Yeah, like just like a cheap fucking horror movie that would have something would have came out 40, 50 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's all cheap horror comedy with a lot of like cheap looking gore. And the gore definitely looked cheap. I will say, even though it was not abundant, it looked cheap as hell.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. The makeup looked cheap as hell.
Absolutely.
The visuals look cheap as hell.
I think
and it worked. It worked for the most part. Because I mean, like that's the thing. And like I said, like music video directors, like who knows what the hell is going to happen when they make the transition? But you at least know that, barring some kind of fucking catastrophe, they're going to give you some nice looking visuals. I
would have honestly felt like if they would have had a bigger budget, it would have probably worked in their favor. I see what you're saying. I think the whole low budget look and feel of the movie, if that's what you're into, sure. I don't know if I personally wanted that, because it's a lot more ambitious than it actually than the execution.
Sure, no. Like Vesely, he tried. He ultimately tried, and there are like little pieces of intrigue throughout the movie, but it just ultimately doesn't add up to anything.
I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like, I will say he didn't do nearly as good of a job as Director X did with Superfly.
Sure. If we're going to compare,
Superfly is not a movie that I thought was great, but Superfly much better.
If we're going to compare music video directors and on how they do with their first feature film, sure, why not?
Oh yeah.
Or
also maybe not.
Is he as good as Benny Blanco when he did the Tupac movie?
Benny Boom.
Benny Boom. Sorry.
Boom. Well, that wasn't his first movie. His first movie was Next Day Air.
Oh, all right.
The classic
Whatever.
with Donald Faison.
You just always have to bring it around to Mike Epps.
Yes, Epps was indeed in that. Next Day Air was a movie that I honestly thought I was going to love at the time, but no bueno. Okay. I haven't seen it since it came out. But
do we have anything else we want to add? I have literally nothing else.
I have one more positive, is that, and this is just specifically me speaking, Zazie Beetz can rock the fuck out of a septum piercing, and that delighted me to no end.
Okay.
That's just all I'm going to say is good Lord. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, but holy hell, septum piercings and Zazie Beetz. Didn't know I needed that in my life, but
good for you.
It did the job.
What about you, Hugh?
That commercial at the end of the movie.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
I'll say one thing that I completely agree.
We forgot about that part. Yeah.
There wasn't a lot. Like there was a few times I laughed throughout the movie, but the one joke that really works is the last thing you see before the end credits.
It's the last scene, the fake pizza commercial.
Obviously, after the whole climax happens and all the crazy shit happens, and the people that are left standing make a commercial for the pizza place.
And everyone's in this commercial,
and
right?
It's legitimately, it was the one time in the movie where I was laughing for more than like a couple seconds. Like I was like, this is really funny. And again, this shows you, if they had committed to that type of tone, who knows what could have happened. Like there was some real promise.
You think that was made after the entire film was wrapped up?
No, I don't know. I don't know what sequence they.
Because the humor doesn't really match the rest of the film.
Yeah, I think maybe. I mean, like I think it matched the scenes with the Paul Scheer character.
Yeah, his character.
But the rest of it.
Everybody else was just like, it felt like they actually
the jokes
cared about what they were saying in that last, was it like 30 seconds of the film?
No, it's like, is Paul Scheer seemed to be the only person that bought into the absurdity of the premise.
Yeah.
Like everybody else played it way too fucking straight, including the cop characters. Holy hell.
Well, you also got to think about it, how much experience the other people have acting compared to Paul Scheer.
I don't think that's necessarily an excuse, because if you're going to sign up for this movie and have your name on the friggin' front of the poster, you should probably come prepared.
Zazie Beetz can do comedy just fine.
Right.
I mean, you look at Deadpool. She did jokes. Does jokes in the land all the time. She's fucking good at it. But here she's just
Joe Carey's done Stranger Things, so.
Yeah, I mean, hell, even Hannibal Buress, who I think is someone, he's only in for one scene, but like Hannibal Buress is somebody that I think, honestly, he's my favorite comedian, and honestly, I think almost every time he opens his mouth, I start laughing. And I think in other movies, he's come in and like, he's in blockers for like 10 minutes, and he has one scene where he just hijacks the scene, and I was weeping. Granted, when I saw it in the theater, no one else was laughing besides me, so they might just be bad. I just think the way that Hannibal Buress delivers jokes is so fucking great, but even here, he didn't make me laugh.
Well, he didn't have much to say.
No, correct. So. I think they should remake. If they're gonna remake the movie, just have Hannibal Buress be in the entire time.
There you go. Maybe Hannibal Buress is the werewolf.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be funny.
I mean, yeah, he could have absolutely elevated with his.
All right, well, an overall disappointing slasher comedy.
I wouldn't see it.
What do you even call this?
I didn't have super high expectations for it. I mean, a horror comedy, I guess.
Yeah. What do we want to give it for grades?
Trash.
Well, that's not a grade.
Oh, garbage can emoji? Is that what you want to give it?
Well, I mean, on a more traditional, on an A through F scale, what would you give it? A plus through F scale, I should say.
I'd give it a D- for effort.
D-, oof, that's
D-.
D-.
I'll go with a D, solid D.
It's definitely not a movie that I would want to watch again.
Me neither.
I will give it a C- simply because while I didn't enjoy it, I wasn't bored, and that's the thing. Like
I was bored through many parts of this
I wasn't
film.
bored. I was thinking, I'm not gonna give anything a C- or anything below a C- unless I'm like bored out of my mind, or so there's something like that really drives me insane about it. And while this movie's messy as hell, there wasn't like a lot of things that like I wasn't like angry at the end of it. Because like there were times where I could get super pissed. I would just rant about things for hours on it. Like this movie didn't. I guess maybe because it was too slight. I guess maybe because its aspirations weren't that high. So I also don't like ganging up on movies on genres that get shit on all the time. So I guess that this has a lot to say. Yeah. So C- is what I'm rolling with.
C-.
A24. I have not liked a single movie I've seen from A24 this year. So
really?
very very down year for So
for A24.
Me and and again that is a.
What other movies have you seen besides?
I've seen Hereditary.
Yep.
8th Grade.
You didn't like 8th Grade?
No, I didn't like 8th Grade.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, batting 0 for 3 for A24 movies, and no, I'm planning on seeing mid-90s, and at this rate, it's not looking like I'm gonna like it. So
okay,
we'll see.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess that's all we really have for this show.
Oh yeah, that was a real humdinger.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty disappointing movie for us to pick. Did you pick this movie?
Yeah, because it's the Halloween episode. I'm like, this movie came out a month ago.
Yeah, sure.
So
why not?
it has a rapper in it. So what the hell? Next year we're gonna review Soul Plane.
No, we're not doing Soul Plane.
We're
doing Snoop Dogg's Sort of Horror next year.
No.
Why not?
Soul Plane.
Why not?
Soul Plane. Because
Soul Plane's not even Halloween related. That has nothing.
That's your thing. Soul Plane is the scariest movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
No, have you ever seen Tupac's acting in Juice? That's scary.
It is scary. but that's legitimately scary. I'm talking like Soul Plane gave me nightmares.
Oh God! All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me tell you something. I got nightmares from Tupac just whispering into Bishop's ear.
My goodness.
Juice is an outstanding movie.
All right, well, I think that's all we have to really say, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll be back with an episode that we're hopefully more prepared for next time.
There we go.
That's right.
Didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. As a matter of fact, I think even your DVD of How High is given up.
Yep. Well, that's because of the volcano. That's aftermath of the volcano. That's fallout of the volcano.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is As We Proceed. Always make sure you like us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, all that good stuff.
We will be back with a more traditional episode
next month. Thank you,
in a few weeks. Yes. Big shout out to our guests for coming through.
Yeah. Peace.